Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's B Militant. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. First things first, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you guys celebrate. Have a good holiday. And one thing I need to talk about that my family was bringing up to me today was during today's game, which I didn't expect us to win today, by the way. Um, I was getting pretty upset at some of the things that was happening in the game, and some of my family members were like, dude, don't get so upset about like football or whatever. Don't let it get you down, or don't get too invested or whatever. And so yeah, I don't know. That kind of made some sense to me that even at Christmas, I was getting pretty upset about like just football, being around some of my family. So I kind of feel like I had to echo that same sentiment to people. Don't let some sports like ruin your holiday or something like that. I guess so. I guess obviously the biggest discussion that most people are going to be talking about this game is the quarterback change. But before I get into that, I just want to talk about the offensive line. I think if you weren't one of those people that realized how bad our offensive line was, this was a game to make you really wake up. In this first half of the game, I thought Taylor Heinicke played well. I thought Brian Robinson was trying to run the ball, but clearly there was just nowhere to go. The offensive line was just absolutely terrible in this game. And like I said, I think if you weren't somebody who was privy to knowing how bad and how just god awful this offensive line is, today was the day that you got to see that. Even when Carson Wentz came in, excuse me, even when he came in on the 2 point try, he got sacked. I mean, like, yeah, the offensive line is bad. Just absolutely god awful. And I didn't expect us to win this game. I don't know what the end score was for the Cowboys Eagles game, but the Cowboys, even though they look bad and they scored a lot of points today, I'm done stressing about this team this year. It's clear to me that this is the same Ron Rivera 7-7, 8-8 type of team. Even though we've had our highs and our lows and all that stuff, like I'm not going to stress it anymore. And I'm done defending my guy Taylor Heinicke. I shouldn't have to defend the guy. I mean, just look how bad the offensive line is, and he's been trying his damnedest all year to make plays and everything. I thought he had a hell of a first half. I mean, I thought he looked good. Had a great touchdown pass. He was escaping pressure. He was running a lot. He got he got he's sack fumbled because our offensive line is trash. And he had the bad interception there, which I guess got him benched. But, I mean, if you watch it back, there's a guy just screaming in his face. And ultimately, something that they said about Brock Purdy at the end of the game, like at the end of the game, Brock Purdy took a sack. And, and I agree with what they said. They said, hey, look, you're up big. They took the sack instead of trying to throw the ball away or something like that on third down. That's a smart thing to do. And don't get me wrong, I agree that we have too many turnovers at the quarterback position, but my sentiment is that look how bad the offensive line is. I don't think it's going to change who we have at quarterback, and I think that Taylor Heinicke was a starter for a reason, and I thought in this game he even showed you he can be a starter, and that if he has better offensive line play and he can stand there, look what he did. He stood there through the touchdown pass. Looked good when he had time to throw. He made throws. He's been throwing bombs. He's been making bombs. Like, are we not going to acknowledge that he's been getting better in the sense that people say, "Oh, he doesn't have the arm talent." In the last game versus the Giants, in this game, 2 times just threw the ball like down the field. One was taken back by a penalty, right? And he also threw the ball far to Jahan Dotson. He dropped the pass. Like, he threw the ball down the field a couple times in this game. So I'm sitting here looking at a quarterback who is getting a little bit better over the seasons gone on, right? But just the offensive line is just that damn bad. And like I said, I'm all for seeing what Carson Wentz can do because I want to win. Ultimately, I want to win. But I'm already under understanding that we are not going to win with anyone back there with this offensive line. I think what Heinicke's done this season behind that offensive line and made them look better than they were for a good portion of the season is crazy. Honestly, it really is. And I would love to see Taylor Heinicke behind a legit offensive line. Brian Robinson was running the ball nowhere. He had absolutely nowhere to go, ever, at all. He at the beginning of the game, he would just get the ball and look forward. There's nowhere to go, so he'd try to bounce it outside and get sacked, or not sacked, but tackled instantly by Joey Bosa. Like they just destroyed our offensive line, and it's been happening for so long. It's just clearly. We need to understand the biggest problem is the offensive line. Take coaches and stuff out of the situation. The biggest problem is the offensive line. And Carson Wentz, and I already know, that what's going to happen is people are going to be like, oh, look, Carson Wentz, he looked good. Yeah, he came into the game where we're down over 10 points or something, and the 49ers were just playing prevent defense. And credit to Carson Wentz, he took what they gave him. He just kept throwing the ball short, just dinking and dunking over the middle, but still credit to him. He did what he was supposed to do, and he had the one great throw. I mean, dude, that throw, that is something that the difference between Heinicke and Wentz is Wentz threw that ball. He just had a great throw. Heinicke, he will, if he has a one-on-one, he'll throw the ball up and give you a chance, but he doesn't make some of those throws like Carson Wentz did on that touchdown to Curtis Samuel. But my thing is, what I wanted to see when Carson Wentz came into the game is him have to face 3rd and 12. I wanted to see him in a game that mattered where Brian Robinson can't get any yards because the offensive line is so trash that we're in 3rd and 12. What does Carson Wentz do then? That's what I wanted to see, and we didn't get to see that in this game, really. We just didn't. When Carson Wentz came into the game, we were already down so much that they were playing prevent defense, and he was just going over the middle, just taking short passes. And this is something else that no one wants to talk about, right? When Taylor Heinicke, he throws an interception or something, or like he'll almost throw an interception, and people are like, look, see, he almost threw another interception. He almost threw an interception. Carson Wentz threw the ball right into double coverage to that guy, but we're just not going to sit here and fucking talk about that, right? We're not going to talk about that one. But every single time that happens to Taylor Heinicke, oh, see, he's trash. He threw the ball, and they should have picked it, but they didn't. That everyone always says that, but we're not going to talk about when Carson Wentz did it today. And actually, like I said, to give him credit, though, after that, that's the next play after that is the touchdown dime throw that he threw, right? So credit to him for that. But, man, I just don't agree with the QB change. If they took Taylor Heinicke out to save him because they're like, look, we ain't winning this game, and we don't want him to get hurt because we need him the next couple of games, that makes sense to me, but that's not what they're doing. They benched him, I'm pretty sure, just to bench him. But to me, I don't understand it. We clearly, like I said, if anyone didn't know how bad the offensive line is, and you watch today's game, you will now understand how bad the offensive line is. So for someone to lose their job over that, I don't agree with that. Yes, the interception was bad, but man, he was under pressure all game. He's like any quarterback out there. If you think this same type of stuff wouldn't happen to Carson Wentz, you're wrong. We've seen it early in the season. We already seen Carson Wentz under a bad offensive line like this. We've already seen this, and that's why I don't understand the QB change, right? Heinicke, in the same game, Taylor Heinicke looked good for at least the first half. He shows you what he can do. And then because he's just getting pummeled because the offensive line is trash, you think Carson Wentz not going to look the same? You think anyone we put back there, you think they're not going to have the same results? And just keeping this, I just hate changing quarterbacks. I hate just switching shit up all the time. That's not what good teams do. And I don't think Taylor Heinicke played bad enough to get benched. So, like I said, I like in the past, if this happened earlier in the season, I would be upset. I would have a lot of emotions about this, but I'm done caring. Ron Rivera is a fucking idiot. Like, clearly, we're not going to do anything with Ron Rivera. Clearly, do I like Ron Rivera as a coach or like as a man, as a leader of men? Yes, he's cool. I like Ron Rivera, but it's clear he's not going to do what we need. He's not going to take us to where we need to go. This is another 7-7, 8-8, whatever middle of the road like record team. This is just another one. Does a team somehow get us invested in the middle of the season and go on a run and make us think, oh man, maybe something's different? Yeah, they do that. And then we get our freaking hopes and dreams crushed again. So like I said, I'm done caring, all right? Can we win out and maybe make the playoffs? Yeah, but like I said, if you watch this game today and you saw the offensive line, do you really think, I mean, and don't get me wrong, the 49ers, I said a couple weeks ago, 49ers might be going to the Super Bowl. They're a really good team. And I thought in the first half for us just to be tied with them, we played some pretty good football then. But the defense, 70-yard run? A 70-yard run for a touchdown? Where's our 70-yard run touchdowns? Where's our big explosive touchdowns? Taylor Heinicke's throwing the ball down the field. He's making the throws now. And then that's what's so crazy. Now Heinicke is showing you he can even throw the deep ball, and then you take him out because the offensive line is that trash. I get it. The last interception was bad, but bro, he's got a dude jumping in his face. The offensive line is that bad, and like you take someone's job because of that. I don't understand it. He didn't get hurt. Carson Wentz got hurt behind this offensive line. At least Taylor Heinicke didn't get hurt. And you take that guy out, it makes no sense to me. Ron Rivera is an idiot. We all know this. He's not the guy to take us to where we need to go. He's part of the reason why we don't have an offensive line right now. He's a part of the reason. He's one of the main reasons why we paid Carson Wentz $28 million. And even if you like Carson Wentz, you have to admit, nobody's going to do shit behind this offensive line, and it's because of Ron Rivera and these people who brought Carson Wentz here for $28 million. It's stupid. It's just stupid. And I don't care how hard you can try to get someone to fight, the team to fight. That's cool. But when we clearly have enough talent on like skill position players, the defense can be really good at times. We have a chance. We should definitely have a chance to go to the playoffs. And because of our offensive line and some coaching issues, in this game, earlier we got a sack on Brock Purdy and we just stopped blitzing at times. I don't understand it. We just seen he got sacked and lost and just completely destroyed a drive because we blitzed him and got him early in the game, and then we just stopped blitzing all game. What's up with that, Jack Del Rio? I mean, we clearly rattled this dude a couple times, and then we just stop and just I don't understand. The defense was bad. The touchdown pass that Brock Purdy had, two guys, one of them George Kittle, the best player, open over the middle into the end zone. Two guys wide open. Take your pick, dude. Whichever guy you want over the middle, wide open in the end zone, whatever guy you want, just pick him and throw the easy touchdown. The defense was bad. And seriously, at least five times in this game on a kickoff, we take the ball out of the end zone and run and don't get even back to the 20-yard line, and we still continue to do this shit. How many times are we going to take the ball out of the end zone and not get back to the 25-yard line? They're literally picking on us. They say, hey, you know what? We know you can't block. We know you can't get back to the 25-yard line, so we're going to pin you back there and kick you the ball to where you think, oh, maybe I can make a play on this. I'm going to run it out of the end zone. No, you ain't going to do shit because we've seen you for 5 times in a fucking row not get the ball back to the 25-yard line. Teams are picking on us because they know our special teams and who we have running back, punts and shit, are trash. They're just trash. Let me see what else I got. And in my notes, also something else I have written down. The last thing I have written in my notes, we aren't going to win NFL games with David Mayo on the fucking field. It's just not going to happen. You expect us to win an NFL game with David Mayo on the field as a starter? That's dumb shit. Do we have anybody better? I don't think we do. But regardless, I mean, when you see David Mayo out on the field, bro, I mean, don't get me wrong. I seen him hustle and shit like that today, but David Mayo ain't going to help you win football games. He's just not. He's just not. So, offensive line is trash. Number one thing I wrote in my notes. Early in the game, we knew this. And also something I have to do. I was wrong about Jahan Dotson. I was completely wrong about him in the draft. Do I think maybe we could have had a better pick at 16 or whatever? We picked 16th or something like that in the draft. There's a debate there. But as a player, I was wrong about Jahan Dotson. And I think, don't get me wrong, he had the drop today. But what we're getting out of Jahan Dotson, if he can stay healthy, and that's the other thing, his talent, yes, I was wrong. He was a good pick, but can he stay healthy and stuff? We still have to wait to see like how his career goes with that. But yes, I was completely wrong about Jahan Dotson. The guy is a great player. Like the guy a lot. The first play that Chase Young comes into the game, he has that tip, almost could have intercepted it. He made like an impact very early in the game when he came in. We never get the ball back to the 25-yard line. Wrote that down. We changed QB, which is stupid. The 49ers are up so much that they just are giving the short field up, and Wentz is just taking it. Smart on his part. Don't force the ball down the field, but the game's already over. This is not what I wanted to see. I want to see Carson Wentz in a 3rd and 12. What are you going to do on 3rd and 12 when your back's up against the wall? That type of shit, because we try to run the ball and we can't run the ball on 1st and 2nd down, so we're 3rd and 12. What are you going to do then? That's what I want to see. Carson Wentz wasn't bad today. He took what the defense gave him. He got the ball out quick. But he's getting the ball out quick because he knows they're playing prevent defense, and he's just not going to be able to throw the ball down the field. This is not what I want to see. Are we gonna see Carson Wentz next week? Probably. So then we'll really get to see like what he's going to look like in a real game. But today, yeah, he didn't look bad. The one touchdown pass was great. It was a great throw. But this isn't, when he came into the game's over. It wasn't like a game. It wasn't like he was playing in a real game. So this is not what I wanted to see. I want to see him in a real live game situation where the game's not already over and the defense is just playing like, don't throw the ball over our head. You can take everything short. That's what he did. Like anyone could do that. Oh yeah. The worst offense, or the worst onside kick I've ever seen in my life. Somehow we did that today as well. Joey Sly, good for you, bro. That was the most trash shit I've ever seen. But like I said, I didn't expect really to win this game. When we went into halftime tied, I was kind of surprised. I thought Heinicke was playing pretty damn well. And then, he had the sack fumble, or, he was just trying, and that's the thing about Heinicke. He's just trying to make a play, bro. He's trying to make a play, and he doesn't have an offensive line, and he's trying to make a play. But ultimately, ultimately, as a quarterback, you have to protect the football, and I understand that. I understand he hasn't been doing that, and, I'm not blind to that. I'm not going to, sit here and defend him on that, but the guy's trying to make a fucking play. And, I'm not going to fault him too much for that. He has a trash offensive line. He's trying to make a fucking play. You know what I mean? What do you want him to do? Take a sack and just keep punting the ball over and over? And then you get to say, oh, well, at least it wasn't turning the ball over. He's trying to make a fucking play. I'm not too worried about that. The interception was terrible. He had, there's a guy in his face. He had to jump and throw the ball over him. And I don't know. And I have to watch it back too. For all I know, maybe Brian Robinson is supposed to keep going and he stopped. I don't know. I don't know the full. I have to watch it back. Maybe Brian Robinson was supposed to keep running and he stopped because he found a zone. He just stopped and Heinicke thought he was going to keep going. I don't know. Regardless, the result was terrible and there's no excuse for it. But I don't agree with the QB change. But right now, I don't really care. I don't really care. I see the writing on the wall. The offensive line is bad. We aren't going to beat good teams. Worried about playing the Cowboys. The Cowboys, even though they look trash at times, they also score a lot of points. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, happy holidays to you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments. I read all your comments and I try to respond. See you guys next time. Peace.